are now live. Hello, everyone. This is a goddess chat. I haven't done a goddess chat in months, I think pre-Christmas. I am Joanne Webb, otherwise known as the Happiness Hustler, self-love and sacred relationship coach. And I love nothing more than seeing another goddess shine in her light, doing some amazing things in the world. I'm surrounded by healers and coaches and beautiful people, and Kerry Dell, welcome, is just one of them. Kerry is a master health coach, but from my experience, I believe Kerry is a health detective. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, it's so good to be here. And ever since you've been saying health detective, I'm going, that describes me so well. I just love that because I'm always looking at the root cause of symptoms, and I won't stop until I actually get to why are you feeling the way you're feeling. So thank you, Joe, for that.
So, Kerry, just so everybody, a little bit of background. So, we go to the doctors, we get ill, don't we? We have things happen to us, and often the first point of call in this world is to go and see a medical profession, a doctor. And doctors have had some beautiful training, and there's definitely a place for the medical profession in this world. But I think it's about time that the holistic and the medical profession started working side by side, hand in hand, and doing things together. Because we go to the doctor. Like, I knew one person who went to see Kerry who had suffered from thrush over and over and over. And of course, the doctors or the pharmacist gave a substance to clear up the thrush, which seems awesome because you get this symptom, it gets cleared up. But nowhere along the way are we looking at where it came from and why it keeps occurring and why it's even there. But that's what you do, isn't it, Kerry?
It's exactly what I do. And it's just amazing that unfortunately, antibiotics nowadays, because our bodies have had so much of it, the bacteria are multiplying, they're mutating, they don't even, it might numb down the symptoms slightly, but you actually don't get rid of it out of the body. So I've had women that couldn't fall pregnant. And when I looked at their whole system, they had the streptococcus bacteria, which is strep throat, which is tonsillitis, from the age of 5 years old all the way through to the age of 39, having antibiotics every year. But now the strep bacteria was actually in the uterus, it was in the ovaries, it was in the tubes. The bacteria had got into all the places where she was wanting to obviously heal from. And she was going, well, why is it still there? Why is it still there? And it's just that we've just numbed, that's what we've just numbed the symptoms, but not actually got to that root cause and flushed it out of our system once and for all. And so I see it often.
And isn't that incredible? So you start off with a sore throat and it affects your reproductive system. Going back to the person I know who I recommended come to see you, who had the thrush, the symptom she was having was reoccurring sore stomachs, like stomach pain, and was trying to cut out bits from her diet, but nothing was really working. Is it egg? Is it coffee? Is it grains? Is it dairy? But nothing really gave her any, nothing really worked. And then also she's got like a bit of like frontal lobe alopecia, and it was something that she was concerned about. And when she came to see you, Kerry, she had thrush, or the thrush virus, in every part of her body, even in her hair follicles. And you're like, wow, that is insane. The candida virus was rife through her body. And this is where it's so important, isn't it, when you have something wrong with you, to not just treat the symptoms, but to go so deep to the cause.
Yeah, I'm always researching, as you know. I never stop researching, and I heard something the other day which I thought was just so key, is that when you feel the pain, that's your opportunity to open everything up and really do the healing. Like, really do the deep healing, not just feel the pain and then numb it. Not just feel the pain and go, okay, I've just dealt with it and it's taken it away in one day and I can just get on with my life. Actually, the symptoms show up over and over again because you've got to go deeper. You've got to go deeper. And it might be emotional, it might be physical, it might be spiritual, it might be mental. There's a whole lot of different reasons why we have the symptoms that we have. It's not just one thing. It's not just one. But what I have noticed for sure is when our body is overloaded with pathogens and toxins, it lowers our frequency, and we're not able to really kick in and heal at the level that we should be healing at, because our bodies heal themselves. They heal themselves, but we've got all these toxins in the way, where we've actually got to now navigate our way through all of them and go, where can we actually shine? How do we thrive?
Absolutely. And I'm like you, Kerry, I'm a prolific researcher. And, I've been listening to, people about how, we do have we've got cancer fighting components in our body. We've got, when we get a common cold, there are things kick into and fight the common cold. But I don't think people even realize that we have that in our body, to fight cancer. Our bodies are so amazing, aren't they? If they are given the right environment to do what they are supposed to do.
100%. We've got to create the environment for the healing to take place. And we can't do that if we keep on putting more toxins, or we keep on blocking what needs to be opened up. And so the minute that you are willing to do the work, that's when everything shifts and changes. So most people that come and see me, I go, well done for being here. Like, just well done for taking that step, because we're going to go deep. We're not talking about the symptoms. We're going to go deep. And it's whether you come and see me in my clinic or whether you're on my coaching calls, we're going deep. We are going to do the healing that is available, but it's not just going to be the surface stuff.
When you talk about toxins, because toxins is like a very big, broad subject, if people are listening going, well, I don't put toxins in my body. I don't think a lot of people even realize what toxins and how many there are around. Can you just give us some general examples of toxins and these things that we're putting in our body?
Yeah, well, we obviously know that there's a lot in the food nowadays. So we, the people that are aware and conscious are really aware that refined sugars are absolute poison to the system. But what we don't realize is that anything with an ingredient with the E, so any E ingredients, they are absolute toxins in our body. Our body doesn't actually know how to process them, and really just dumps them into cells, which, obviously becomes like this fat cells that don't get removed. But the grains, they've been mutated over years. My son bought this milk the other day that had a thick thing of cream at the top. And I said, that's the milk. That's what milk looks like. Milk doesn't look like a white substance that comes in a plastic container. That's so processed. It's so acidic for our bodies that it's not the true product. So we've got to look for these true products. So yes, it is in the form of foods, but on the other spectrum, it's in the form of so many other things. Our cleaning products in our home, some of them are highly toxic. The sprays that we use on the weeds in the gardens, highly toxic. Those cause cancers, and they've been proven to cause cancers. So we've got to look at hair products as women, makeup. What are we putting on our skin? What are the skin products? So when you think about our body is so resilient, so resilient. We have put up with things for decades, for absolutely decades, and we keep going. We keep going. But when we start making the small shifts and changes, oh my gosh, the body responds. The body responds, and the body goes, oh, thank you so much for just removing one of those things and removing it out. Because what I see heavy metals that come in the form of a lot of products that are around us. I see parasites that feed off the different foods, but parasites can come in water sources. Parasites come when we're traveling around the world to different destinations. I see bacterias. Now, we've got good bacteria and bad bacteria in our gut. We do need both, but when there's an overflow of bad bacteria, the buildup is just too much. It's overwhelming for our cells to handle that. I see worms. I see minute little bacteria that, if we didn't have the microscope nowadays, we wouldn't be able to detect them. They are so tiny, like so tiny. So thank you that we've got these microscopes that we can actually look at them. So, and there's molds, and there's fungus, and there is, there's just, ongoing amount of different toxins that can interfere, not just with the organs, but they get in between the organs, and it's in the walls and in the lining and in the cells. And so it's really, really deep that you've got to look, because a lot of people go, I've had my thyroid checked, and the bloods came back and everything was fine. I'm going, yeah, but do you feel like there's something that's out of balance or that's not right? And they're going, that's why I went. I went and had the bloods because I felt that it could have been my thyroid. I said, so when you look at the bloods from a thyroid, it could be numerous different things. It's not just the gland, but it's the tissue, it's the cells, and it's the liver. We've got to look at all aspects that actually help the thyroid to really convert those hormones that it's producing. And so it's not just one thing. We're not just doing hormone tests. We do all sorts of tests to be able to get into, okay, is it really your hormone? And 9 times out of women that come and see me about their thyroid, and I normally say, yes, we need to do something about your thyroid. And they go, but the blood test didn't say any of that. So yes, we need to go deeper. We need to go deeper.
I love it. And, I don't think people realize how amazing they are supposed to feel, because with all the things you just mentioned, sugar is our biggest addiction worldwide, isn't it? It's so easily accessible. It's in a lot of stuff. Like I've done your 12-week program, Kerry, where you start to have to look at every single label, and you take out every single bit of sugar, even a carrot. I wasn't allowed to eat a bloody carrot for a while. But it was so eye-opening. Like, I'm a personal trainer, and obviously I'm a coach, and I'm all about healing the inner wounds. Like, you go to the root cause, I go to the root cause emotionally. And I thought I was living a healthy life, but then just looking at every single jar and every single label just opened my eyes. I could not believe how much sugar was in things. And I'm hardly surprising we've got this addiction. And people don't realize, like, I was listening to another thing when I was doing more research today, for men, no matter what age they are, whether they're 15, 25, 15, 90, if they eat 75 grams of sugar, which is on average about a medium-sized donut and a coffee, or no, it's a medium-sized donut and a Coke, which, you think about the American corners, every corner's got a donut and a Coke. You can get it for a couple of dollars. So if they eat 75 grams of sugar, their testosterone goes down by 25%. And we're wondering why we're coming into like a sexless nation, and, people are not having sex, and there's reproduction problems. And it just blows my mind that when we start to look at how we can heal ourselves, and then how phenomenal you feel. My new phrase is, Kate Moss used to say, didn't she? Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. But now we say nothing tastes as good as healthy feels. So good.
It's so good. And people go, I ask them to describe their energy levels, and they go, yeah, my energy's good. I'm going, it's not good enough. When you really think about it, can you jump out of bed? Can you actually put your head on the pillow at nighttime and really fall asleep quickly? Because if you've exerted all your energy for the day, you should be able to have a really nice deep sleep. And also have consistent energy, not have up and down and up and down. It's really about consistent energy, and a really good amount of energy is actually what you should be feeling. I walked past the other day on the beach, and there was this young group of kids. Oh my gosh, the energy coming out of them. And it was just so beautiful to hear this like buzz of noise and energy. And I'm going, we actually have told ourselves that we need to slow down as we age, or that we age by the time we get to 70. I know many people that are aiming between 150 and 200 years right at this moment. Our bodies are capable of doing that. We've got to get the minds to catch up to it, and we've got to clean the toxins out, increase the frequency, and we'll have a good quality of life. And that's what it is. Your energy will give you a good quality of life.
Absolutely. Because those statistics as well, if we want to go back to more statistics, if people want to hear them, I think now the average age that if you are born in America, say, I might have the numbers slightly wrong, but say if you're born in America, your average age that you're going to live is 81. But your average age of health is 65. That's living of 16 years of poor health. Like, I don't know about you, Kerry, but I want to live in great health and I want to die. I just want to, I want to be dancing, and then I want to drop down dead.
Yes. Yeah. Or, I know, because this is what my grandmother did. She went to bed, she fell asleep, she didn't wake up.
Awesome. Well, that would also
know?
be fine. Probably goes
Exactly.
back to the meds.
It might be better for the people around you. But honestly, that is exactly how it should be, because that's our ancestors who were healthy. They just went to bed and their time was up, and that was it. Their body just slowly stopped working, and it wasn't painful. It wasn't painful. And
Yeah.
you weren't hooked up to machines and on hundreds of medications, and you weren't in pain. And so that for me is a big thing, because I do want a good quality of life. I have now changed my saying, because I did say that I want to be the granny that wants to play with my grandchildren on the floor. But now I want to be the granny who is dancing at my grandchild's wedding.
Yeah.
That's the granny that I want to be. I want to be able to dance all the way through the wedding.
Oh, bloody love it. I love it. And so for people listening, because they're like going, okay, well, this all sounds great. I want to know what the deep root cause is. I want to feel fantastic. Can you just explain a little bit? Because it's non-invasive, is it? The tests that you do, it's non-invasive. There's no blood tests. There's no needles involved. There's no x-rays. So can you just tell us a little bit about how it works?
It's quite incredible, because it's all based on frequency. We are alive living beings, and everything in us is actually moving and vibrating. So as long as that we are alive, living and vibrating, number one, we can heal, and number two, we can measure the energy of each of those cells. So if you come through and see me, there's 2 different types of equipment that I use, and it's really just based on quantum frequency and bioresonance frequency. And what I'm looking for is, I'm looking at a cellular level, what is actually out of balance in your body compared to a person of your age that has perfect cells. So my software program is programmed with somebody with perfect cells at your age, and then we just compare them against your vibration of your cells. And then the AI is amazing nowadays. Computer systems, software is all amazing. So the software is available, where we are not just looking at the vibration of the cells, but we can then go in and say, what toxins are there that are blocking that vibration of the cells, and exactly what are they. So it names them. It names the bacteria, it names the parasites, names the viruses. And once we've got that and we know where to focus, we know exactly what we need to do in order to remove that out of your body, and we know how to remove it out the body. And once that's done, then it's a matter of, okay, so we remove toxins. So how do we bring back the frequency? And for me, it's also looking at things like opening up to your own divine healing intelligence. So what I teach people, and this is one of the programs that I'm teaching my Thrivology Plus, is I teach people how to tap into their own healing intelligence, because you all have it. You all have it. It's not me who's doing any healing. It's not any doctors or scientists that are doing any healing. It's you. So I just open the door and show you here. Walk through that. Take this action. Be guided here. And you will open up to your own healing intelligence. It's there for you. It's there for you.
And we hear of miracles all the time, don't we, Kerry? How many times have you read a story or know a friend of a friend who has been diagnosed with something like stage 4 cancer? Because let's talk about that, because it's quite a common one we hear. And they go, oh, there's no medical intervention, or you could have this which will prolong your life by 6 months, but it's going to be painful. So the person goes away, contemplates it, and they have their spiritual awakening there and then, and they go, no, I'm going to believe in something else, and I'm going to go and do it differently. And they go and do some research, and they go and do a juice cleanse, or they go on a very strict diet, like cutting out everything you said, refined sugars, grains, dairy, all the things that drag us on, maybe certain meat products they cut out because the body finds it hard to digest. And they put their body in a place of healing, because it calms everything down, because you've taken away all of the nasty toxins. Like, they might take away all the toxins in the house and use all natural products on their hair, on their skin. And they go away, and then they might do some other spiritual practice like meditate, or truly believe that they're going to be well. And next minute they go to the doctors and the brain tumor has disappeared. And the doctors are like, well, quite frankly, I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah, we hear it all the time. We hear it all the time. And it is different for every person. So it's not the same for every person. But That's why I truly, truly believe your healing is like multidimensional. It's more than just a physical. It definitely is emotional. It definitely is your mindset and your brain waves. You've got to understand that your thoughts actually do manifest into your reality. So what have you been thinking? Are you thinking that you're well, or are you thinking that you actually have cancer in your system? What have you been thinking? So it's your thoughts, it's your belief systems, it's your words that you use. You know, if you use the words, that's also going to come into your reality. So it is a matter of unpacking individually what you need to focus on. And then once you know that's where I need to focus, that's what I'm actually doing, then it's actually like a roadmap, like having your own individual roadmap to your own healing. So that's what Thrivology has really been about, is creating your own roadmap to your healing.
I love it. And you must see some phenomenal results. Like when people come to you, get one reading, and it takes about an hour and a half, doesn't it, from start to finish, to absorb all the information and to do your investigating, and then to relay that to the client. And then once they go away, and if they take it on board, and then they come back for a rescan, you must see some real phenomenal results. Can you give us some examples?
I get blown away. I get blown away. This human body is amazing. This human body is amazing. So I mean, I've had women with leaky bladders, and it was actually a parasite in a nerve on the vertebra. And once we did the detox, like, no more leaky bladder. I've had a young boy with black urine. Once we cleared the viruses out of the system, urine was absolutely perfect, kidneys perfect, liver perfect. Like, the body just wants to heal. It really wants to heal. It's just like, what do we need to focus on? As symptoms, I mean, eczema from head to toe. I had a 15-year-old young girl. Like, she came with a hoodie and everything was, you know, she had clothes covering every part of her body because she had so much eczema on her. And her parents have actually said to me, they've been looking at things for 15 years of her whole life, 15 years. And the eczema cleared up within 3 months. Within 3 months, once we targeted what we need. I've had young girl, very, very disabled, having seizures, multiple seizures in a week, to, after putting some protocols in place, no more seizures.
Wow.
Like, no more seizures. I was like, I get absolutely blown away. And sometimes I say, why don't you come back and see me? They're like, I'm healed. Like, I don't need to come back and see you. Like, and that's really what I want. I want to see you. I want to put some plans in place, and then I don't want to see you because I want to know that you're actually healed. And that's often when I follow up with people, it's like, well, I don't need you anymore. And I'm going, yay, because you've learned what needs to be done in your body. And that's my whole philosophy. If I can help you to understand how you can actually tap into your own healing, you've got it. You've got it.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell a little story. Like, my eldest son just recently went to hospital with severe stomach cramps, and he's a pretty strong dude. He's 23, and he had, like, honestly, he was concertinaed over. He was this, and I've never seen him in that much pain. So we took him to A&E, and he was admitted, and they were treating him for, is it pancreatitis? If I said it right word, pancreatitis. But so they said, oh, we're going to treat you for that. You're going to have surgery tomorrow to remove your gallbladder, blah, blah, blah. Then they did the CT scan and blood tests, and they were like, oh, actually, no, you haven't got gallstones and there's no pancreatitis. They're usually, pancreatitis normally comes from alcohol or gallstones, and he doesn't hardly drink alcohol. So they were like, oh, and then they went, oh, okay. And then they found some fluid in his stomach. Okay, well, we'll go and drain that, not knowing where it had come from. Okay, we'll book you in for surgery to drain that, do another like MRI or another scan on his tummy. Oh, the fluid's actually clearing up itself. Actually, you're a little bit of a mystery to us. We don't know what's the matter, but we're going to treat you for pancreatitis anyway. So, they're giving him medication, and he's on morphine because he's in that much pain. And then they eventually discharge him, don't they? And then we bring him straight to see you, Kerry. And you find that he's got some viruses, he's got parasites, and it's all in the little tiny tubes in between his organs. But it's so funny because the hospital came to him categorically and said, you do not have pancreatitis. But then they say, oh, but we're going to treat you for it. And I'm like, I find it all quite terrifying, to be honest with you. We're just going to give you some drugs. we're just going to give you some morphine. I'm like, I know we've got to do pain management, but I was a bit like, this just doesn't feel good. And then you're in a hospital where you get no fresh air and it's not a great place. So it's like, oh, whammy, whammy, whammy. He comes to see you. He's just done a liver cleanse, which you recommended. He's doing a parasite cleanse. And yes, he's lost a bit of weight on his liver cleanse, which he didn't want to do. Now he's going to pack it back on. He's going to build himself up. But he is so, he just absorbed the information so beautifully. And he was like, I just want to feel better. And he's going to do everything he can to feel better. And he's already feeling, the pains aren't there in his stomach anymore. He's doing it right. And it was just such a beautiful gift to give him, watching him go from feeling helpless to feeling hopeful.
Yeah. And I remember him so well because when we unpacked the whole story around everything, what was the trigger? Because I always feel there's got to be a trigger. There's got to be something that sparked it off years ago and then maybe again now.
Mm-hmm.
And the trigger was eating pork.
Yeah, the parasites in the pork when he was away traveling. And
Yeah.
and then we brought up, didn't we? And I said something about taking him to the doctor when he was young, because he was hardly ever sick as a kid. But I took him because he had ticks, like, like he'd blink a lot and he'd have a bit of a twitchy. And I took him just to see if there's anything going on. Ended up having to see a child psychologist. They tend to, and then you said to me, every single person you've ever seen with ticks have parasites. And he had parasites within his organs. And even though his organs all look beautiful and fresh and juicy, there was things in there, like you say, in the cells, in the line, in the viruses, the bugs, the parasites, and nobody wants little goobies living in them, do they?
Yeah, exactly. Well, just think about the amount of people you've heard that has had reoccurring cancer. So the cancer's all gone, we got rid of the cancer, and then 6 months later, oh, you got cancer again. What I see is these little bugs, these little parasites, they are irritating the cells. And nobody looks at getting rid of parasites when you've got cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And they run and they hide somewhere else. And they don't want to be found. They don't want to be found, so they hide for a little bit. And then boom, 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 there's a little bit of stress in your life and they are reactivated because they love adrenaline. They feed off adrenaline. So there are things that reignite in our system if we don't consistently know how to get rid of them once and for all, and also what feeds them and what kills them. So those are the type of things that we've really got to look at. Otherwise, yes, there is going to be stuff that's going to come back again. I also look at, and I just think about, because there is, obviously we know cancer is lots of emotional stuff for cancer as well. But it's like, okay, so there's emotional stuff that is affecting the biochemicals. It's the chemicals that are feeding the parasites. And so the emotions and the parasites are eating you up inside. And I'm going, I don't want any of that. So give me what I need to do in order to heal from all of that. Because otherwise you're going to get this, this whole cancer diagnosis from things that actually can be dealt with. They can be dealt with.
And the most amazing thing about seeing you, Kerry, is you don't like have a list of 25,000 supplements we've got to take. It's like, maybe you might have to take eggs out your diet, or maybe it's grains, or maybe it's cheese, or maybe it's all of the above, depending on what we've got. And they eliminate this maybe forever for some things, or for a period of time for others to get those viruses dormant. And maybe there might be, like, I'm doing a parasite cleanse now, and I am taking my things, my wormwood every day, for 10 days. But it's not rocket science, and it's not difficult. It's not like, oh, you're going to be prescribed a prescription for the rest of your life. It's just think about this in a holistic way. Eat good food, give your body what it needs to repair, take out what's feeding the goobies, the viruses, the bacteria, and allow your body to heal. And I'm like, you can just do it by going to the supermarket in the right way.
Yes. Going to and like farmer's market.
Yeah.
Getting real living food, the food that's got the vibration in it, the food that's already got enzymes in it, so that breaks down before you get any congestion.
Yeah. And for people listening, you're based in Auckland, like me. We're both Auckland gals. Obviously not originally from our accents, but people are thinking, oh, well, this all sounds great, but I'm living in Germany or something. But people can actually now, what can they do?
The technology is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I used to work with hair samples, nails, blood samples, all sorts of things to get really down into the deep cells for people that were, far away. I've got people all over the world. I've got clients all over the world. And all they do now is they send me a photograph. It's incredible. The technology is incredible. I do have a different type of piece of equipment that the photograph goes into, but what it is, it's tuning into your frequency as if you this radio station. So the equipment picks up your frequency as if you this radio station. This is you, and it's just every single international client that I have done, because then I do a video of what I see on the screen so that they get to see what I see and they can get to experience exactly how I unpack everything and look for the root causes. And every single one has come back and said, how did you know that? How did you? I didn't tell you anything about that. The one chap that was based in South Africa, and he came back, he said, you picked up an elbow injury that I had in rugby that I played 30 years ago. Like, how did you know about my elbow injury, And it had flared up, and so he was feeling some pain, and so the equipment picked up that actually he's got a little bit of pain there at the moment. So yes, I wish it was me, but it's not me. I'm not that inclined. I do rely on the software programs and the frequency, but I also do know that once we get into this healing of actually clearing our body out, the frequency within ourselves as human beings is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. And once we activate our healing pathways, it's amazing.
And so people can contact you all around the world. Your website is kerrydell.com. Yeah. Very easy to remember, everyone. And then what's your next venture? Because you're just one person. You can only see so many people, and the whole of the world needs this, really, don't they? Mm-hmm. Everybody needs this. So what's your next venture?
Yeah, I am so excited. I am really, really so excited about this next venture. I am already coaching coaches. And yes, it's really awesome. I train them on the equipment and I train them on the protocols that need to be followed afterwards. But this, I'm looking for new other health practitioners or coaches that want to add an additional program to their portfolio of what they're offering. And the program that I am teaching them how to teach people to heal themselves is called Thrivology Plus. So it's really, really exciting because Thrivology Plus is already a 4-month program, but I'm looking for coaches to be able to coach that and to be able to offer that. So yes, I don't want to just, like you said, I can only do so much and I can only see so many people. But if a lot of other people have this information and have this knowledge, then then we can help so many more. So there's a membership site, there's weekly coaching and training that we go through. There is PDFs, the whole program is laid out already. So I'm looking for people that want to add another program that they can coach and that they can offer their clients that 100% is getting to the root cause of the symptoms, as well as teaching them how to activate their divine healing intelligence.
Oh my golly. So if that sounds like you, just give Kerry a call, because just have a chat. It's amazing. We definitely need more of this in the world. And if you are listening, you've got a symptom, whether it's a sore foot or a sore elbow or constant headaches or backache, and we go to the physio or we go to the doctors, but nobody's ever really got to the cause of it. Invest in Kerry. Invest in these machines, because the things you will find out about yourself is phenomenal. And you could have been carrying things for as long as you can remember, or maybe something's new, but there's ways to get rid of them, and Kerry is the health detective. Hey.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. Thank you for that, Jo. Thank you. Yes, I'm just passionate about helping others. And if we can get more people helping more people, yes, And like you said, it doesn't need to cost fortunes in supplements and medications and everything. We do need to just tune into root causes, know how to clear them out, and tune into our own bodies individually. Yeah.
Oh, I've loved this chat. I'm so passionate about people feeling healthy, body, mind, and spirit. And this is definitely within the body, along with the spirit
We do.
and the mind. It's a bit
Yes.
of everything, but
Yes.
this is mainly about physical health, and yet, of course, the emotional comes into it because we are all connected. So, I love what you're doing in the world. Thank you for being a shining goddess, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Jo. I love you too, and I love everything that you're doing. So.